Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Pop-Up Dungeon Let's Play. Today I'll be attempting the Run Home campaign yet again. After TPKing one of the training fights bad, this is one of the scaling battles. Did a little more tweaking of abilities, reducing the proc chance on a couple more, slightly shifting the emphasis on some of them. Like,
I've been LFG for a whole minute, but I'm a healer.
like slightly shifting emphasis to healing with Protective Spirit here, or in the proc chance, and make it so characters have to be a little more damaged.
Greetings and salutations.
I also further
I'll follow if the cause is true.
or the proc chance on Divine Shield. No, Divine Heal here. So that it has enough power to potentially, because this can fire when something overkills a party member. But, so you can do more healing than 100% max HP to try and get them back up to positive HP. Something I've learned from experience using this.
This will aid our quest.
Do you know what this is?
An instrument for justice. I humbly accept this gift.
They both use holy symbols. They're
Let's honor the
identical.
dead by putting
Sometime
More firepower.
a boon to our cause.
Yeah, I guess someone can hold on to it, although I'd
Instrument
rather
for justice.
Brock, since he has some actual fire damage, and that gets firepower. Cool.
Legendary.
weapons.
A divine gift. By the light. A boon to our cause.
Been looking for this.
An instrument for justice.
Alright, couple more
So
sets
this
of
is the
party
fat loot everyone was telling
upgrades,
me about.
party equipment upgrades, and then I can pick companions and get to the
Simply
fights.
Precious.
Could you clean this off for me, please?
I wish they wouldn't always talk whenever they saw equipment being offered up. Oh well.
I humbly accept this gift.
Guess it's a way to alert you. They think it's an upgrade for them.
A divine righteous.
Support, resistance, energy defense, elemental defense. Cool.
So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about. Knowledge is power. That's not bad either.
Alright. Kodiak Bear. Not bad. Oh, yeah, whelp at high level. Still is a whelp, right? Or a Papa. I think this thing is pretty defensive, but I don't know. It does do water damage, I'm pretty sure, which I don't have in my party, so I'll take that. Fortis. Nuatori. Or basically Xenomorph. These are both water types. I'll take the Fortis. And then these guys are my roster. Let's see. 2 different versions of Nicodemus?
Cards on the table. I've got a skeleton or two in the closet. I will raise the spirit. You bring the shovel, I'll bring the trouble.
Nope, actually it's the same one twice. 2 identical copies of Nicodemus. Well, you can actually duplicate party members in the selection if I remember. Alright, here's the first scaling fight, Japanese Forest. At least the first one doesn't have too high essential level yet. He'll get really crazy later. To wander around a bit to proc the fight. Find where it is on this.
I am spoiled rotten.
They're all facing that way.
I am a deli fermented in the barrel.
3 of these Sakana Sensais, which are basically a mobile armored skirmishers. So not a real threat unless they get close. A Jinbu. Seen that a billion times. And a Junaru. He's pretty tough. He packs massive punch. But no armor pen, so could be worse. These 2 pack a substantial punch. Ah, the Fortis. The tortoise with guns sticking out of its back. Oh, that's funny. I had never seen this character before. Rock and awe. Exceptional armor, penetration, phenomenal with earth. Exceptional initiative. Well, that's just the buff my party has. But yeah, aim, earth, armor, pen. Cover. Slightly poor back and front defense. The strongest flank. Weakest the back. Very poor mobility though. Barely move. But it can teleport. Jet burrow. Ooh. 3060. In a straight line. Damage limit use. Cosmic Karma enemy deals damage to target. It's reactive. Does pretty nice damage. Rock block. I think I'd seen this before in the generic Earth Mage rock block, but not on an enemy. And Popup. You can see its brain in there. It's tiny. They're both turtle-y things. Kappas are, of course, a monster in Japanese folklore. Apparently they like cucumbers. Be bribed with them. We can drown people. They can be found in tiny ponds, supposedly. Can levitate. Deal water damage to enemies that move next to them. Chance of stunning self, though. That's weird. There's water coming out of its head. This explains spill the plate. You can immobilize enemies and pull them to you. Oh, that's powerful. And drag down. Stunning enemies. Cool. So an earth-based tortoise and this thing. Abysmal against daze, air. Disable and stun. Hmm. Timmy's thing has, yep, normal stability. So, let me pause and set this up. And back. Now this kappa has a slightly unnerving, wow, you can't get to it, but it's slightly unnerving, especially since it's a creature that, drowns people. In lakes and such, but whatever. Abilities are accurate to that folklore. Yeah, it's a fictional creature, of course, but
I do not seek glory.
let's go.
Elven eyes have seen much suffering.
Alright. So for those, by the way, new to the channel, this is the second video in this particular playlist, but I've done other pop-up dungeon playlists before.
Eternal Dawn, I call upon your light.
And also, I'm disabled with long COVID. It affects my ability to think quickly. Long COVID does. So, I apologize if I'm a little slow at times. Ugh.
Never turn your face from the cold.
I have trouble multitasking. Start talking, lose my train of thought, or need to focus on doing for a moment. Just how it is these days.
A divine favor. My wrath undoes the wicked.
I don't smell anything.
Oh. Okay. Normal against statuses, luckily. This plate does that. Because, I mean, it's partly to protect against confuse and charm, but the days, it doesn't hurt. Hmm. Divine Fervor is still on cooldown.
The light will guide me.
Where is my hat?
Hmm.
This will aid you.
Oh. Could do substantial damage, although I'll take blunt and water damage. Normal. Against water, so mostly just blunt damage. Didn't realize this dealt quite so much.
I'm gonna need to recuperate.
I don't know if it's worth dragging down this guy. Barrel down instead of smackerel. Oh, it's because if you dealt 200 damage. This place to be is right next to this thing. This thing though, slow and actually gets slower as the power level ramps up. Yeah, it can jet burrow around.
Unfresh fish. The fish is getting ripe.
The air bends to my will. Return to the earth.
That thing is, I'm pretty sure, strong as fire. I mean, earth.
In the barrel.
I'm not used to all this darkness.
Oh, no, it actually doesn't have a particular elemental defense. Interesting. Oh, he chose to stay in the line of fire of this thing. Ground wave him.
I like to keep my friends close.
Cosmic karma.
I will fear no evil.
Probably don't want Gilor to get
I give
hurt.
you my heart.
Ah, it didn't work well. Try again.
Our cause is true.
It's a little better. Still.
Warm your hands by the fire, friend.
Oh well. Give himself a bunch of haste at least.
I walk through the valley.
That hammer reminds me of the hammer in my Wildermyth Let's Play that Agaridia has. The Hail Hammer. Well, it's actually a mace, and it's a one-handed hammer. In the game, that's called a mace,
I
though
bring the flame.
it's a hammer.
All right, it's my turn
Not
now.
to be noted a warhammer. You see people have like warhammers in D&D and they don't know what that looks like and they assume it's like a little handheld hammer. No, warhammers were actually more like with like they assume it has like a flat point. Warhammers were actually more pointed at the end, so they were how would I describe it? Like this long something my glasses here. Kind of hammer-ish shaped. I mean, the name hammer didn't come from nowhere, but more like a triangular point, so that it would concentrate all the blunt force into just one small impact zone at the part that would actually impact an armor or such. So not at all a maul, which is what I had a D&D game in. My Torf was equipped with a Warhammer starting equipment, and the Dungeon Master kept referring to like a maul, like a big thing that you may even wield two-hand, which Warhammers can be done one or two-handed in D&D. It's like just a big flat point, big piece of metal, and then if it sticks, like, no, that's a maul, not a Warhammer. Eventually I just bought a maul so he would stop in an armor shop in town, just so he would stop doing that, because it was annoying me. It was inaccurate. And the maul is actually slightly better than the Warhammer in damage output. It's like a 1d2 difference or something or less. It's very slightly better.
I do not seek
For my Heldorf cleric to be wielding. He was one of the martial types, I think. Forge? No, not Forge. Storm cleric, I think it was. One of the ones that starts with martial weapons proficiency. Anyhow.
our cause is true.
Mobility. Haste. Cool.
Stay close.
This is my home. Go away.
I didn't even proc the
The light will guide me. My path is
I can only
righteous.
trigger once, thankfully. Return.
I bring the flame. Put your faith in the light.
The elements do my bidding.
Something smells fishy.
Kappa is easily dazed. Oh, no. Actually, since this thing can barely move. Can only use one of them, can it? .94% is good enough chance. Save the ground wave.
The fish is getting ripe. I am spoiled rotten. Fermented in the barrel.
So let's say a little commentary on waiting here. So watching recently, interview between
These elven eyes
journalist. I think the guy was some.
Kusai Janai.
Hey, I want to say the guy's name was Matt Kennard.
Never turn your face from the cold.
Does the A/political series. This guy, Elon Perry, and oh god, like he was like just a total Nazi. Listen to this guy talk. Now he was incredibly brainwashed and conceited and dishonest, but he could not resist repeatedly threatening the threatening the life
Is righteous.
of
Grin and barrel it.
this Jewish historian who had criticized Israel, written about the history of Nakba. And he was saying, like, he was a traitor, he'd be shot if he had been in the Israeli army at that point. You gotta understand, coming from someone like this, I've seen this type of person before. That's a veiled threat. That's not the way he was repeatedly talking about the guy getting shot.
The light will guide me.
It's like a far right nut. And this is like if a MAGA tard ever says something like that around you, it's a threat. This guy was such a scumbag that in a, recorded interview, he couldn't resist threatening the life of a historian whose interpretation of events he did not like, or rather recounting of facts. Which, did nothing but help to further incriminate this bastard, because
Let's make this quick.
publicly threatening academics like that always shows that you're a piece of shit, and the academic you're threatening is recounting how people like you were responsible for crimes, violence against civilians. It suggests that those claims are true just by the fact you're willing to make those threats. However, this guy was no PR specialist, so I don't think he realized that he was basically incriminating himself
Stay close.
and people like him. But, or maybe just didn't give a shit because violent fascists living in a country that'll protect him from any consequences.
Walk through the valley.
Doing this kind of thing. It's a barrel, dude. Your home, it's a barrel. It's gonna be hard to power through that shield, though. Maybe I should have given him more haste.
Our
This,
cause is
well,
true.
nope, not even gonna give him a chance of proccing this again. Oh well. This is worthless. The shield will expire. Guess I'll tap to flexibility it. so that the AP doesn't go to waste.
Of man.
But yeah, I mean, someone who spent a lot of time in academia, myself, listening to someone threaten an academic because they didn't like the history that person was writing was just utterly enraging. You know, there's no group of people typically more non-violent than academic types, lifelong academics. They do not deserve to be threatened with violence, and it's just an attempt at intimidation and bullying. And of course, it was being done in order to this forest is overpowered. That's for sure. Of course, this was being done to defend a genocide, to make people afraid to criticize the history of how things got to where they are now. Abysmal against fire. I think I can hit the... No. So they should have gone there. Then wouldn't be able to get back. What's the range of this? Shimmy. 5. It's water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it can just barely get out of range
I am spoiled rotten.
of that one.
I am a delicacy.
Really?
The fish is getting ripe.
Oh, the sashimi isn't water anyways, it's... body. Or... Yep. This mackerel's the water one.
My wrath undoes the wicked.
I don't smell anything. Kusai janai.
A divine favor. My path is righteous.
Put a lid on it.
It's gonna have to power through these defenses, I think.
Stay close.
Who needs saving?
Time for some explosive action. Ha!
I do not seek glory. Warm your hands by the fire, friend. Your faith is weak.
That was the last barrel down, thankfully.
I bring the flame.
Long have I watched man. Let's risk a little bit.
That was still dazed. Hmm.
Grin and barrel it. Need more protein.
Not quite dead yet.
Fresh fish. Fermented in the barrel.
I sentence you to more life.
The fish is getting ripe.
Hmm.
Never turn your face from the coal.
Catch a whiff of this.
Think this will cancel if I get close.
The light will guide me.
Take it down before it uses anyhow. Goodbye, Barrel Sensei. Whatever.
I bring the flame.
The last horn. Should probably make room for the kappa.
The light will guide me.
The darkness will not rise.
Let's make this quick.
My wrath undoes the wicked.
Hmm.
Repent! Stay close.
This is my home. Go away.
Oh, shoot, I thought he was out of that. Now he is.
I walk.
I'm worried about the Phoenix.
Our cause is true.
That's not much protection.
The light will guide me.
There's a storm on the horizon. Misbehavior.
She does have Bullet Wrath, which does fire damage. Anyway. Be sure to add fire damage is more when it's when the character already does fire damage. It could be wrong. This will dispel that shield. Drag down. Overkill.
Ship me to Skiji.
You need to do the Guardian Blame. Whatever.
That is powerful paper. That man is beer.
This will aid our quest.
Instead of a sword? No, thank you.
Sometimes greed is a necessary evil.
Green, so no interactables. It's giant map, so it'd be tough to look for anything.
This will aid our quest.
Ah, Smackerel. If you dealt damage, an enemy moves next to you. How is this most effective in the hands of the character who would do poorly against reflected water damage? Guess by the time all work's done, 200 damage, he probably has used Divine Fervor, has plenty of AP, so I'll grab this for now.
I will sanctify it with my touch.
Speaking of AP.
I'll keep it safe. There is a rich lore to this item.
Let's give it to the lower armor pen character who doesn't have overwhelming power like Brock does.
Sometimes greed is a necessary evil.
Yeah.
I humbly accept this gift.
A little mundane power, I guess.
My heart knows. I will.
You can see his power levels now 1933. According to the game's estimate, still less than James. Interestingly. Anyways, hope you folks enjoyed that video. That's enough for now. To get up, stretch, and rest, and so forth. Maybe next video probably tomorrow or something. But I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Kind to yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star lead you home.